Julian is up next from Lionscraft, going to introduce the brand new D.U.C.K knowledge base proposal.
Perfect. Yes. I
Loud.
hope you can hear and see me.
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. Julian, my name. I'm happy to introduce D.U.C to you and walk you through it. It's not the animal duck, but maybe a sort of different animal we're tackling here. And we essentially want to create a framework for node operation excellence. And for those of you who haven't heard of D.U.C yet, I want to give you a bit of background on what we try to tackle with D.U.C. Essentially, we want to find a way in order to boost the node operation excellence across the whole Ethereum ecosystem and try to find ways of collecting the knowledge that is already out there in you guys, in the node operators and kind of beyond that. And we want to kind of create something that collect that and create something that bolsters kind of the strength and robustness of Ethereum overall. And by saying that, I would like to introduce D.U.C to you. I hope, of course, majority of you guys have seen the Lido forum proposal already. For those of you who haven't, D.U.C stands for Distributed Utilization of Configurations and Knowledge. So it was a bit of a work to come up with this acronym, but we made it. And behind D.U.C are essentially three components. So we intend to create the first component, which is the risk framework. So that should cover kind of relevant risks for node operations, what kind of group them, how severe them are they, and give you some context around those risks. And based on that risk that we identify, we want to essentially define mitigations and controls in order to address those risks, and create like a controls catalog and mitigation strategies, and give you also a bit more resources in that regards. The third component that we want to create is a communication toolkit that should be kind of a collection of best practices around external communication. So how to engage with the community, and what ways, what channels, and what do I need to do in terms of incident reporting? What are just general best practices around community engagement? And with those three components, we essentially want to create this D.U.C framework, or the D.U.C initiative, and maybe kind of talking also about who actually is behind D.U.C. So who's helping D.U.C to take off. We of course have super happy to be bootstrapped by Lido and all the contributors that I will get to in a second. On top of that, we kind of have four teams that all contribute to those three components of D.U.C, and that kind of are experts in their respective field. We have risk experts with Constant and Chain Proof who will contribute to the risk framework, with Hibernative and CoGuard, as well as to the mitigations and controls library. And we have in the team to kind of set up the foundation, or also Blockscape and Kiln on board, so that we can kind of come up with a hopefully solid foundation of those three components. And kind of looking at these partners, which I'm super excited about to kind of join forces and create these frameworks. We have actually already started, and we are very happy that we can now finally kick things off. In November, we got the approval for the proposal. We kind of set the whole team up. We also created a Git book, which I will get to after that. and which contains essentially all the relevant information for you in case you want to get more details on what's going on and what's the status of the project. And basically also kicked off the risk framework work already. And if we look ahead over the next 4 months, we plan to kind of create the risk framework and mitigations controls library in blue and green until end of January, and basically create a first initial draft that should contain risks and kind of the categories, mitigations for the respective risks. And this initial drafts this will be then shared with all the contributors from the Lido operator community, which we really hope that we get as much support as possible. So this will be the part where we rely on your input, where we rely on your expertise, what you can kind of give us or support us on the journey essentially, and give us feedback regarding what we created there in order to make it better and kind of cover more design choices, more options, more mitigation strategies, methodologies. And based on that, we will kind of create the final version, the alpha release, in end of March. And on top of those two components, we have the communication toolkit, which will then start in January because it's independent of the other two. So looking at the timeline, this is where we plan, or how we plan to roll it all out, and essentially also get your input from the node operator community at the stage where we have kind of a rough structure and foundation that you can take a look at and hopefully help us make it even better. If we step a bit back and look at D.U.C. from a more broader sense, I would just like to give a bit of information around that as well. So we are now at this public call for participation and basically trying to breed these components for the alpha release. And after that, we plan essentially to open up the knowledge base more and get more operators and more knowledge inside, and also kind of find a way to make that a sustainable and liquid knowledge base, so that it basically stays up to date, that this will be a source where kind of which is being updated and represents kind of the current state of the art around best practices. So this is in a nutshell where we try to go, and in the long run and the short run, or for the alpha release. And I mentioned that we already started kind of the reach out to our contributors or to you guys, and we are currently super excited that we have already eight contributors on board that support us on creating and reviewing contents that we come up with. And I really invite you to scan the left QR code, and if you're a node operator and also would be willing to support us on that journey, and just get in touch with us, fill out the form. We are happy to get in touch with you and also work together with you on this initiative. If you need more infos around kind of the whole setup, what we plan to do, what's the timeline, what's the status, I'm inviting you to scan the right code. That should lead you to the Git book that we will constantly update based on what's going on, where you will see the current version of the risk framework, of the controls, and also the communication toolkit. And I would just generally apply or try to, would be very happy if you guys would get in touch and join the flight of D.U.C. So that being said, thank you very much, and happy to reach out, and looking forward to getting this on the road.
Thanks, Julian. Thank you so much. We've been talking about this proposal you shared for I think, a few months already. And the difficult part for us anyway is to, like, we're partnered with a large amount of node operators, and some of these node operators just have incredible knowledge about staking as a whole. So crypto manufacturer there, we have dev teams, client dev teams, large staking providers, and we're really looking for a way to like get these people to share their knowledge with the broader community, not just the Lido node operator set, but this is an open source initiative, right? So
Exactly.
sharing with
Yes.
the ecosystem as a whole. And the difficult part was like just having them share their knowledge without coming up with some normative way of staking. Like, this is how staking should be done. Like, each of these node operators are experts in their own way. And I'm really happy this is this proposal as it is now is kicking off. I was looking at the selection of volunteer node operators. They have a lot of experience. How do you feel about this? These volunteers?
I mean, for us, it's super important to kind of capture the diversity that is out there already, right? And I mean, looking at the list, we also have one question around the size of the operator, and it's actually quite nicely distributed. So we have kind of bigger operators, some medium, and some small. So I'm really curious, and I think that's a good thing that we have this mix in the contributor part, but also of course really would be of course better to get more insights from different operators on top of that. But from what we have now, it's already kind of nice to have them on board. But of course, anybody interested to reach out, please do so.
Yeah, it's definitely a wish to squeeze every drop of knowledge and experience from other node operators to share it overall, because the community, the ecosystem can only get better. You mentioned this is the alpha stage. I know nothing is set in stone, but do you have an idea about the beta and the gamma and the
I mean, for now, we don't have like super concrete super concrete details around that. We will really, well, we're trying to get as much out of the alpha as possible, and trying to make it as broad as possible and helpful as possible. So after that, kind of we need to see how far we get, and from there we hope to make it even broader beyond Lido, or with operators beyond there, to kind of open that up even more to the community. And as Sven, you mentioned, so this will all be open source, right? So we will publish, or as you saw the link on the Gitbook, this is kind of the public documentation for it. So it should actually be for the community, with the support of the community, and this is what we try to work towards.
That's awesome. If people have questions about this, they can contact you. Well, you mentioned your Telegram there.
Exactly.
Is there any communication possibility via the Gitbook? Was there a link there for people to provide input?
On Gitbook, I can add that maybe as well, but there are all the links towards the also Telegram group that I created for the every operator or all interested people in this initiative. So just check out the Gitbook. Maybe I can just share it again in case you missed the QR code, and there you should find all the information around that.
Yeah, that's great. Izzy is mentioning in the YouTube chat that it would be great to see small and large node operators contribute to this. So definitely looking forward to this. Really happy about this initiative.
Awesome. Me too.